Okay, ladies, we are going to talk about some daddy issues, patterns that we saw growing up, triggers, that kind of stuff. This year's been crazy for that stuff. I never really got why. Well, one, I never thought I did. Never thought that I dated anybody that resembled my dad. I didn't. I was like, I will not do that. Because my dad, he was very loving, but he was not vocal. He was an entrepreneur. So I could see where he was starting businesses, failing, this, that, all of that. Never had like a stable 9-to-5, I guess. And I could watch my mom working her ass off and supporting him, the family, his dreams, whatever. But I remember probably about 10 or 11, we were somewhere and she looked at him and said, "What card am I allowed to use?" In that moment, at 10 or 11 years old, I said, fuck no. Hell no. Will I ever, one, be asking permission and not know where my money is? That was not a mutual thing of knowledge and all of it, because I was watching her work her ass off every day to be the main stable support system, as my dad was able to follow his dreams because she supported him. But then she was submissive in like the finances and all of that kind of stuff. And that, I think, molded me more than I ever knew did. Ever. In my marriage, I took care of all the finances, all of that kind of stuff. He was the breadwinner for most of the time until we had that first downturn, you know, the 2008 or whatever it was. And that literally like killed a piece of him, because men, they know their worth by how they provide, how they show up, all of those things. And when that's taken, he didn't know who he was. That was like the start of my husband kind of like losing himself. And it was the shift, because then I started making more. And then when I got into real estate and started my own business, that was like just the shit show. But I always tried to get him to participate and know like the finances, the bills, all of that. Sorry, my leg's asleep. And he never wanted to. And it would drive me crazy because it was one of my triggers. I didn't want to be the one only in charge and no, I'll take care of it. But I wanted to make mutual decisions and all of that kind of stuff. And same thing with my dad. He was non-emotional. He wasn't vocal. So when I was abused, when I was young, I was abused from like 6 to 9. When I finally came out and said something, my parents, one, they like took it to the bishop and wanted it to get prayed away. Well, we know that that does not work, which meant I felt abandoned, not protected, not seen, not heard, not anything in that moment, which triggered my crazy teenager years, which my husband was 5 years older than me. I met him when I was 14. He was 19. And I was pregnant, had my daughter when I was 16, and then married to him by the time I was 17, 18. So and he was one of the younger guys I dated. I was trying, I look back now, because I wanted to figure out my patterns. Because girls, we have seen in our dating lives, we see the patterns. See where you date the same kind of guy in a different package every single time. See where you shrink every single time. See where your shame piece is every single time. It's always there. It's the same. So eventually we want to shut down and put the barricades around us and be like, screw that. No man can like enter. And that's not what we're supposed to do either. We're supposed to love unconditionally, because now I've learned like I have no attachments to sending and sharing love with them. When I was attached to them showing back up, that's a codependence. That's doing something to get something. If you are doing it based because of unconditional love and they are earning a place in your heart, they don't have it. They earn it. So they're a friend until they earn it. A friend or even a stranger on a street corner is going to get my compassion, my empathy, and all of that. So I stopped attaching my worth to that. Which means they are able to enter the barricaded premises because we share love, empathy freely. We share our lessons, we share our vulnerable truth, but we do not become their teacher. We do not become their girlfriend, their wife, their anything, unless they earn it because of their own actions. Not words, actions. And showing you. But the non-emotional man, I didn't think I married my dad. What I realized, because my husband was able to talk to me, so I didn't see it as the non-emotional. When we really had something we needed to talk about, we could dig in and we could talk about it. But what I realized when he hit his triggers, insecurities, all of that after the downturn, and I said it started going downhill, he didn't have any tools. He hadn't learned how to do that. He just felt safe doing it with me, meaning he hadn't done his inner work to actually know his own. He had his attached to me. So when he starts shrinking because he doesn't feel good enough, he's not confident anymore. He doesn't know where he's going and what his purpose is. He doesn't know his goals. He doesn't know all those things. And I was fighting for us and all of it, fighting for my dreams that I had had since 15. I knew it when she hit 7th grade. I was going back. I was starting my own business, blah, blah, blah. He was my biggest cheerleader. But he started putting me on a pedestal. When someone starts putting you on a pedestal, even if they're a friend, what I've learned now, because I used to think, what did I do? I'm not trying to make them feel bad. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I want a partner next to me. When they're doing that, it's because you just triggered something that is their childhood wounding and they are literally shrinking like you're the parent or the boss. And I don't care if this is a business partner, a friend, a boyfriend, a husband, whatever. When they start putting you on the pedestal and telling you that you think you're so good, blaming everything on you, triggering and poking the bear to make you feel like you are the cause of the problem while you're just fighting for your dreams and doing your stuff, they're shrinking because you just triggered their childhood wounding. That childhood wounding they didn't even know they had. And I had to realize this in dating, because the guys that say they want a strong, independent woman and all those things, but they haven't done any of their work. So instantly, yeah, it's what they want, but they haven't filled the gap by doing the work to actually be at the same level. So instantly, I'm not good enough, you're amazing, I don't deserve you, all of those things until they run, hide, ghost, this, that, blah, 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 all those things. And we want to shut down and not allow anybody else back into the barriers. But are we actually looking back at the pattern? I had to look and see that, oh my God, I married my dad. I was dating my dad consistently. The non-emotional. Because guess what? I like to win and stuff and kind of competitive and work world. So apparently I had to see that when I was doing that. Do you think that that would be the biggest award? You did it, congratulations, all of that. If you made a non-emotional man be emotional, could I guarantee me feeling like I accomplished my goal? That I won? That all of those things? Yeah, apparently that's what I did. Because that would prove to me that they actually cared. The dogs just got triggered. I don't want to win the freaking award anymore. I want them to win the award for them damn selves and then come find me. Show me their award because they're proud. So what are you not digging into from your childhood? Just a thought. Think of how your daddy and mommy showed up. Did they ever not show up? How did they communicate? Where did we create that story from to have the pattern showing up in our world now? Love you, ladies.